Okay, it was an accident. It was an accident, right? Okay, it was on purpose. He had beef. He had beef. They have beef, and I want to know what it is right now.
This is SportsCenter.
Hey, I'm Marissa Roberto, and this is Digital Sportscentre presented by TELUS. And we've waited, and waited, and waited. And I'm not kidding, it's been 6 months, or 30 weeks, 207 days, 4,959 hours, or if you want to get really exact, it's been 297,555 minutes since we've had meaningful NFL football in our lives. And the wait is finally over tonight as the Chiefs open up their season against the Lions. And while there are so many storylines for tonight's game, we have to start with big injury news, and that's the status of Travis Kelce. He was a non-participant Wednesday, and is officially listed as questionable for tonight's game with that hyperextended knee and bone bruise. Casey plans to put Kelce through a workout today to test the injured knee, but it seems like he's a true game-time decision for tonight. So for those of you who used a first-round fantasy pick on a guy who never misses a game, well, you better start looking at the waiver wire. And when I say never misses a game, that is not hyperbole. Since 2014, Kelce has only missed 3 games. 2 because he was rested in meaningless games at the end of the season, and the other one because he was on the COVID list in 2021. So while we have to wait on Kelce, we do know the Chiefs will be without star D tackle Chris Jones, as he still does not have a new contract. And with the huge money Nick Bosa got from the Niners yesterday, you have to think this thing could drag out even longer. Don't worry, we're gonna have more of that Bosa contract later in the show. Back to tonight's game though. The spread is now dropped all the way down to Chiefs minus 4.5, with the total set at 52.5. And you can watch the Lions and Chiefs tonight on TSN. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Alright, there's a lot of other NFL news and notes to get to. And let's start with the biggest story because Nick Bosa is getting paid. One of the favorites for Defensive Player of the Year signed a 5-year, $170 million extension, with $122.5 million guaranteed, making him the highest paid defensive player in NFL history. He's also got bragging rights over his brother Joey, who had that same title back in 2020, when he got $102 million guaranteed by the Chargers. And the Niners now have 8 players in the top 10 at their position in regards to being the highest paid player. Simply put, this is what all-in looks like. And if Purdy, who's making less than $500K, can take the next step, well, look out rest of the league. Sticking in the NFC West, Cooper Kupp is officially listed as out for Sunday. The Rams star wideout is dealing with a hamstring injury, and he could potentially end up on IR according to head coach Sean McVay. This is obviously a huge loss for the Rams in many ways, and it leaves their wide receiver room young and inexperienced. Van Jefferson is now the top wideout, and he showed promise with an 800-yard season in 2021. But after him, there's a lot of question marks. And those guys will need to step up to take on bigger roles if Kupp is out long-term. Now joined by our gambling guy, David Sanchez, to talk tonight's game. Chez, the wait is finally over. NFL returns tonight. What is your excitement level on a scale from 1 to 10?
Is that a level? Is that a level just super high? The storylines are amazing. Every NFL season, I'm excited like everybody else. I think it's the best sport in the world to watch on television. But the storylines this year are, I mean, even week 1, it's special. I can't wait. Yeah, it's off the hook.
Wait, can you give me a Bart Scott?
Oh, can't wait. How was that?
Yeah, that's the one. That's the good stuff. Okay, Chez, what is your best bet for tonight's game?
I saw a stat earlier in the week, and it was Patrick Mahomes. Week 1's the NFL season. Mahomes has thrown at least 3 touchdown passes every time. That's 5 straight years, at least 3 touchdown passes. And they say offenses take longer to get going than defenses out of training camp. Well, so I was looking at Mahomes, Kelce stuff, but because Kelce is, we're not sure if he's in or out or his status, I'm going to lean towards Sky more. He's a guy, and look, we don't know what happens in the preseason. Are they giving us the real goods? Is this what the team's going to look like? Is this schematically what they're going to do? We don't know, but I know one thing that I keep hearing out of Kansas City, and that's that Sky Moore spent a ton of time this offseason with Patrick Mahomes out there working on his game, and he's a high draft pick. Yeah, they have to get him involved, prove his worth, and all the departures there. He's someone they need, not only for tonight, Marissa, but for the long term of this team. They need a young, talented guy to fill in, and what better night than week 1 to get Sky Moore going.
He's always on the inside track. Finally, there are still a couple days to get your future bets in. Give us one can't-miss future you love this season.
Other than DeMar Hamlin to win Comeback Player of the Year, that's a lock. But the next one that I love is the total for the Pittsburgh Steelers. I felt like I was ahead of the curve on this one a few months ago, and now it seems like everybody loves it. I don't know if it was from me, highly doubtful, but I do know that this team is built. It's every team that has a good defense, they just need a good young quarterback or a quarterback, and that's what everyone's looking for. And all of a sudden, Kenny Pickett seems to be that guy. If you watched him in the preseason, he was unreal. And the relationship he has with George Pickens, I like the over 8.5. That's sitting at -155. A lot of juice there. You can maybe take the alt line at 9.5 wins over at +135. So Pittsburgh Steelers over is one that I like.
Thank you, and for the record, he did start the trend. No one else. It was Chez. And just a reminder, you can watch the Lions and Chiefs tonight on TSN. Coverage begins at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific. Okay, we have to interrupt this celebration of football to shift to the other football. And really, we're only talking about it because of Taylor Swift. That's right, Digital Sportscentre is back. And that's because the Swifties are making a movement against Barcelona's Alejandro Valde, who was one of the favorites to win the Golden Boy Award, an award given to the best soccer player under the age of 21. But back in May, when asked if he likes Taylor Swift, he said, no, I don't like her music. And you want to talk about cancel culture, okay? Anyone saying, first of all, I don't believe in cancel culture, okay? I don't think it's actually real, but if we were to cancel anyone, it would be the people that say they don't like Taylor Swift. Like, give me an actual break, all right? Tell me you've never listened to her music without telling me. It's not just Shake It Off, okay? Listen to the deep tracks. Listen to anything on Folklore. Listen to Evermore. Listen to those albums, okay? She's a legitimate songwriter. What are we even doing here? Well, when the Swifties learned about this, they took to social media to flood the voting, to instead vote for a player on Barca's biggest rival, Real Madrid, and their star young player, Jude Bellingham. Now, because of this action, Bellingham now leads the voting with 49.5% of the vote, with Valde down to only 27.5%. This reminds me of also K-pop culture. You don't go against the K-pop stans, you don't go against the Swift stans. Why would you do it? Time now to bring back a year one Digital Sportscentre favorite. It's FanDuel Fast Facts, where I give you some key facts for tonight's Lions-Chiefs game as fast as I can. So we're gonna put 40 seconds on the play clock and see how many of these I can get through. The Chiefs have won 8 straight season openers, covering the spread 6 times. Dan Campbell is 0-2 in his season opening game, with the Lions giving up an average of 39.5 points per game. Defending Super Bowl champions are 13-4 in the kickoff game. The Giants, Ravens, Patriots, and Rams are the only 4 defending champions to lose. In 5 season openers, Patrick Mahomes averages 308.4 yards passing per game and 3.6 passing touchdowns. His line for passing yards tonight is 285.5. Oh my god. Lions games average 51.8 points per game last season, highest in the NFL. The total for tonight's game is 52.5. What? Did I finish before the clock was done? Well, clearly you guys took it easy on me based on how bad I did 5 years ago. I guess next week you guys are gonna need a few more facts. That's all for today. We'll see you back in a month for Easter. No Pacific. Have a good one.